In the darkness above the edge of the atmosphere, where the air turns thin and the horizon bends beneath the curvature of the Earth, a black silhouette once ruled supreme, the State Route 71 Blackbird. Born from paranoia and genius, this aircraft was not merely built to fly faster than any enemy, it was crafted to redefine the limits of what humanity could achieve in the sky. Imagine a machine so advanced that it could outrun its own missiles, glide through the stratosphere at over 3 times the speed of sound, and remain invisible to the radar systems of its time. In the height of the Cold War, when the balance of power teetered on the knife's edge of nuclear destruction, the United States needed eyes that could see everything without ever being caught. And so, from the secretive corridors of Lockheed's Skunk Works and the restless mind of one man, Clarence Kelly Johnson, the State Route 71 was born. It was not just an aircraft, it was a statement that America would see all, know all, and fly where no one else dared. The Blackbird's creation was a product of fear, ambition, and brilliance, a triumph of engineering born from an era when the world's survival depended on who could fly higher, faster, and farther. What made the State Route 71 so extraordinary was not just its speed, but the alien technology hidden beneath its sleek black skin. Its body was forged from titanium, a metal so rare and difficult to work with that the CIA had to secretly acquire it from the Soviet Union, the very nation the plane was designed to spy on. Every rivet, every seam, every joint was a delicate balance between heat and pressure, designed to withstand temperatures exceeding 600 degrees Fahrenheit at Mach 3.2. Its engines, the Pratt & Whitney J58S, were unlike any others ever built, capable of functioning both as turbojets and ramjets, feeding on air and fire to propel the aircraft faster the higher it climbed. But the Blackbird's brilliance didn't stop at its engines. Its shape, defined by sharp angles and flat surfaces, was one of the earliest examples of stealth design, scattering radar waves long before the term stealth became part of the military lexicon. Even the black paint that gave it its haunting appearance was functional, infused with radar-absorbing iron ferrite and capable of dissipating extreme heat. This was a machine designed not just to fly, but to survive in an environment that no other aircraft could endure. But to truly understand the legend of the State Route 71, one must enter the world of those who flew it, men who soared higher than any commercial aircraft, faster than any bullet, and yet faced the constant risk of catastrophic failure with every mission. Pilots like Major Brian Schule, who after surviving a near-fatal crash in Vietnam, found himself behind the controls of the fastest plane ever built. Each mission began with hours of preparation, not only for the pilot but for the aircraft itself, as it was refueled midair multiple times, gulping down specialized JP-7 fuel that could withstand the heat of re-entry. When the State Route 71 roared to life, it didn't take off so much as ascend to another realm, streaking across continents in minutes, outrunning Soviet surface-to-air missiles that clawed hopelessly at its shadow. During one mission over North Korea, Schule famously pushed the Blackbird faster than ever before, a desperate climb that broke records and defined the aircraft's legacy. "You can't touch us," he later recalled, with a grin that only those who've outrun death could understand. The State Route 71 never fired a weapon, yet it won every battle it ever entered, through speed, silence, and sheer untouchable dominance. Its impact on global intelligence was immeasurable. From the deserts of the Middle East to the frozen tundra of Siberia, the State Route 71 brought home photographs so sharp that analysts could read license plates from 80,000 feet above the Earth. It became the ultimate instrument of reconnaissance, capable of mapping entire nations in a single flight. At a time when satellites were still experimental and vulnerable, the Blackbird gave the United States an unmatched advantage, providing real-time data that often diffused tensions before they exploded into open war. Yet its existence was cloaked in secrecy. For years, the world's public never knew that such an aircraft even existed. To them, it was a myth, a whisper among pilots, a rumor of something impossibly fast. But to those in command, it was the single most powerful surveillance tool in the American arsenal. Even the Soviets, with all their might, could never shoot one down. The few who tried watched helplessly as their radar screens flickered with blips that appeared and vanished in seconds, a ghost at the edge of the stratosphere. The State Route 71 had rivals, of course, though none could match its sheer audacity. The Soviet Union's answer, the MiG-25 Foxbat, was fast but crude, designed in haste to counter the mysterious Blackbird threat that haunted their radar networks. The MiG could reach similar altitudes, but it lacked the endurance, sophistication, and stealth that made the State Route 71 untouchable. While the Foxbat relied on brute force and steel, the Blackbird was a creature of precision and grace. Even decades later, when advanced fighters like the F-15 and interceptors like the MiG-31 entered service, none could truly catch it. The SR-71's record still stands, 85,068 feet in sustained altitude, and over 2,193 miles per hour, numbers that remain unbeaten by any air-breathing manned aircraft. It wasn't simply a plane, it was a vision of the future, a glimpse of what humanity could achieve when it dares to push the boundaries of possibility. But behind the steel and the numbers were human stories, engineers who defied the impossible, pilots who flirted with death, and political figures who fought to keep the project alive. Kelly Johnson, the genius behind the Skunk Works, was a man obsessed with speed and simplicity. He believed that the best aircraft were built not by committees but by small teams of dreamers working in secrecy. His motto, "Be quick, be quiet, be on time," became the guiding principle of the Blackbird's development. When the government demanded results, Johnson and his team delivered, often ahead of schedule, always beyond expectation. Yet the toll was immense. The State Route 71 demanded constant maintenance, delicate precision, and an unyielding commitment from everyone involved. Every flight was a ballet of technology and teamwork, with engineers monitoring thousands of readings and mechanics sealing tiny leaks caused by the aircraft's expanding titanium skin. The Blackbird leaked fuel on the ground, it had to, because its panels would only seal tightly once the metal expanded in flight. It was imperfect, temperamental, and demanding. But it was also alive, a living embodiment of Cold War ingenuity. When the State Route 71 was retired in the 1990s, it marked the end of an era. Satellites had grown sharper, drones more practical, and budgets less forgiving. Many mourned its departure, yet the Blackbird's legacy endured far beyond its final flight. Its technology paved the way for the stealth fighters and reconnaissance systems of today, the F-117, the B-2 Spirit, and even the upcoming State Route 72, a hypersonic successor shrouded in mystery. The Blackbird taught us that speed and stealth were not opposites but partners, that to be unseen, sometimes you must move faster than the world can comprehend. Even today, when you hear the term supersonic, it's the shadow of the State Route 71 that lingers in the mind, a reminder that once, humanity built a machine that could outrun the dawn itself. And so, the legend of the State Route 71 Blackbird lives on, not just as a triumph of engineering, but as a testament to courage, secrecy, and the relentless pursuit of the impossible. It was more than metal and engines, it was a symbol of an age when nations raced not only for dominance but for understanding. In a way, the State Route 71 represented humanity's unquenchable thirst to see beyond the horizon, to know what lies hidden, and to master the skies that once belonged only to gods and dreams. As the world now looks toward hypersonic flight and space reconnaissance, one question remains: will we ever create another aircraft that captures the imagination and fear of the world like the State Route 71 Blackbird did? Or was this aircraft, perhaps, the last true bird of fire to ever fly above the clouds? Tell us what you think. Was the State Route 71 the pinnacle of human flight, or just the beginning of a much greater journey into the unknown?